So people start thinking at more critical level. So whatever you choose to do, you have to start understanding the relationship between the Indian state and the Sikhs. Don't give categorical statements which create more problems. You got to understand the dynamics. For example, I'll mention one thing here. I've heard from so many Sikhs that we're so proud that Manmohan Singh, a Sikh, is the Prime Minister of India. Well, that's great, but even in his apology, if you noticed, which he gave, the so-called apology, which is not an apology, he did not apologize for it, first of all. Secondly, he said, why are you bringing these kind of things up? This will create more problems for Sikhs in Punjab. And he actually discredited the people who bring these things up within his speech. So the point is, recognize that if somebody is representing India, he's representing India, not the Sikhs, so don't expect much from that person. Then also look at their track record. Manmohan Singh is a finance minister. He spoke at a human rights conference in Vienna in 1993, where he gave a categorical statement that there have been no human rights violations against Sikhs in India. That's why, by the way, he's the only prime minister we've had so far who has never been elected. Because he cannot win an election, he serves a particular purpose. That's why he's there. He's again selected as a Raj Sabha member. Because he cannot win an election. He is serving a particular dynasty, a particular purpose. Don't expect him to do anything for the Sikhs. It's a wrong expectation. If you want something, the Sikh community has to do something. We have to create the awareness. We have to understand the facts. We have to understand how the governments play these games. And you have to convince yourselves and come up with the instruments to deal with these kind of ideas. And lastly, we have to look at Gurbani. It's interesting that Guru Nanak Sahib tackles this issue as well. Ideas of justice. Of course he tackles everything. And he says, Gariba upar je khinja gadi, par brahm sagar mein sadi, pura nyao kare katar, apne das ko rakhan har. Our faith is that if there is a tyrant, he or she will be taken care, one way or the other. So we should never lose the faith. That's my point. Because the God we believe in, the Sikh God, because people have different conceptions of God. The God which we believe in, we believe He's a just God, or she's a just God. It's a genderless God. And if God is just, and we are the instruments of God, we have to do those things. If you believe that justice needs to be delivered, it's not a passive God that that you say, I worship you and I remember you at Gurdwara and I'll do something. No, you have to learn from again Guru Nanak's approach, where he says, I don't complain to the worldly authorities. And that's why I don't understand sometimes why do we keep asking Indian government to do things for us. Do you ask your perpetrator to do things for you? It's pretty shallow if you ask me. Sure, you can try certain legal things and keep trying that in Indian framework, but outside of that, what have we done as a diaspora community? How relevant are we to the victims? We haven't been able to create a memorial. It's been 23 years. Heck, we can't even commemorate them properly without bringing in the government versions. So I think those are the kind of things which you and I should be thinking about. The college students, they should be writing their papers on this issue. Understand the political dynamics, the legal dynamics. If your community leaders create a fundraiser, sure we need money for everything, but I don't think we need more gurdwaras. But what do we need? We need some memorial. There is not a good single website which clearly depicts all these things. So there are lots of opportunity. If you have faith, you will figure out how to channelize your anger. And we do have to channelize your anger. Sloganeering doesn't deliver a damn thing. Yes, there is a role for it, and it's an emotional role. We have to do it at certain places. But if you really want to deliver and channelize your anger, then go find an issue. And there are lots of worthwhile issues to fight about, but you have to find your battle. If all of you fight your battles, we will win a war. We can't win a war if some of you choose to sit on the sidelines. Thank you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa.